Thanks for watching the NCWLIFE channel. I'm Eric Grandstrom, and it's time to meet another one of our top 10 candidates for the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant. We'll do that in just a sec, but first, our coverage is sponsored by Laura Mounter Real Estate, locally owned and independently operated since 1999. Our next candidate joining us here is Cody Richards. Cody is the daughter of Greg and Faith. She's involved in FBLA, FFA, ASB Treasure, DECA. There's not much you're not involved with. So before we get into this whole litany of questions I have for you, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a senior at Wenatchee High School. I've lived in the Wenatchee Valley my entire life. I love the community, I love learning, and I love meeting new people.
As far as the FFA part of your world, what's the biggest thing you've learned from being part of FFA?
I've learned and the biggest thing is the impact of agriculture, not only in the Wenatchee Valley, but in the entire country. I mean, agriculture is tied to every economy. It's the backbone of the American economy and everything involved in that. So I've learned a lot about the way it's all interconnected and how I can make an impact by talking about agriculture and the good things that it does. Girls on the Run,
what is that?
Girls on the Run is a youth organization that helps girls learn fundamental skills in elementary school. I've volunteered as a coach last spring because when I was in elementary school, I was part of the program, and it taught me a lot about self-awareness and self-confidence, and that really helped me get ahead in middle school because I had the self-confidence and the self-awareness to want to get involved and want to learn and be a better person.
When did you decide to run for Apple Blossom?
I've watched the Apple Blossom pageant for many years. When I was younger, I didn't necessarily recognize any of the girls, but I always listened to them speak, and I loved listening to their plans for the future and hearing their perspective. So as I got older and saw seniors that I knew do the program, I wanted to be in that position and have the opportunity to speak to the community and to inspire other young girls to grow and be good speakers.
You say the person who inspired you was your middle school ASB advisor?
Yeah.
Who was that, and how did they inspire you?
Yeah, so I took a leadership class from her my first year in middle school, 6th grade, and I learned a lot about leadership that I never would have known. I didn't know how much you could improve as a person. I know that was even a possibility. So as I learned about self-improvement and self-development, I thought that, wow, everyone should have the opportunity to learn this stuff and to grow as a person. So I ran for an ASB position in 8th grade. I was the ASB treasurer at Foothills Middle School, and I got to plan lots of different events and plan fun opportunities for other students.
So you got that whole experience of speaking in front of your student body a long time ago.
Yeah, and I'm really grateful for that because I've only grown since then.
What's been the most challenging thing for you during this pandemic?
The most challenging thing for me is definitely not being able to talk to people every day. I am an extreme extrovert and I love meeting new people. So just not having that everyday communication and conversation was really challenging. I actually started pen paling in March, and that gave me the opportunity to communicate in a different way and to still meet new people and have really unique conversations.
Seems there's always this generational gap of understanding between the oldsters and the youngsters. What's the number one thing that we as adults need to know about teenagers?
I think that we hear different things than what they heard when they were younger because we receive our news and information through social media primarily. So just understanding that the communication basis for adults and teenagers is different.
So it's the 27th. It's after pageant, and you have been crowned queen. Who do you think?
All the people that have volunteered to help us throughout this process. I was blown away when I saw the schedule, just at the amount of people that volunteer their time to teach us 10 girls different life skills that we'll be able to use for the rest of our lives.
Anything we need to add about Cody before we let you go?
I don't think so. Like I said at the beginning, I love the Wenatchee Valley, I love the community, and I love learning and meeting new people.
Well, best of luck in this process.
Thank you.
You bet. Cody Richards is joining us here, who is one of our top 10 candidates for the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. The pageant coming up, sponsored by Cashmere Valley Bank on the night of the 27th. We'll start our coverage with the countdown to coronation at 6 o'clock and then live pageant coverage from the PAC at 7. It's right here on the NCWLIFE channel.